Hello and welcome to another episode of the Historic Challenges, and as you can see, Milestone did update the game once again, so the green text is gone and I think most of the other bugs are fixed as well. So hopefully nothing weird should happen in this episode. Obviously the main thing that was happening yesterday was career mode was affected by the weird patch that came out. It kind of messed up the game a little bit, so hopefully this video should be all fine and there should be no issues. So we'll have a look at the historic market then, see what's on here then. Wow, we've actually got... So we've got Casey Stoner rare, so we're definitely going to buy him, 7,200. We can afford to buy Barros and Rossi as well. And then obviously we'll still have... Yeah, we've still got 3,000, so if we manage to win this difficult challenge, which is at Le Mans, then we'll have another 15,000, so we should be able to buy whoever's on the market after that. We've now got 10 of the 41 riders, so we're almost a quarter of the way through with that. And so we've played as Edwards, we've played as Melandri, we've played as this Rossi up here. So probably don't want to play as 2002 Rossi for this episode then. There's Ukawa. There's another Rossi, so probably don't want to play as another Rossi. I'll probably leave it for a couple episodes before I play as Rossi again. We've got Barros from 2002 as well. We've got Kato from 2002. We've got Caparossi from 2004. Lorenzo from 2010. And Vermeulen from 2007 to play with then. Oh, and we've also got Stoner that we've just bought, 2011. I'm going to go with Stoner then. I'll go with Stoner since we just bought him. The 800s were a real handful from what I remember from MotoGP 19, so if they're the same on this, then this challenge is going to be very, very difficult. So Nakano on pole once again. Seems to really like putting Nakano on pole. So we'll put it onto a medium rear tyre. Obviously we don't want a hard... I don't think Le Mans is a track where the temperature is particularly too high, so I don't think we'll be struggling at the end for tyre wear or anything like that. Obviously at Valencia we did struggle quite a bit, so hopefully it's not like that. Simoncelli down in 20th, so he's probably going to be one of the AI that is quite strong we've got to look out for. I'm guessing we're going to be in 6th place. Yes we are, 6th place here as Stoner. So I suppose we may as well just get straight into this. We'll see which AI is the fast one that's going to keep up with us. So it seems like the grids are pretty similar because Ukawa and Barros on the front row again as well. I'm in first person for some reason, right? Oh, so the only thing we have is traction control, that's fun. I'll definitely be using it. Oh, anti-wheelie. Lack of engine braking is probably going to hurt me quite a bit here. The arrow seems to be missing from the traction control display as well. As we go through turn 1. Oh, we've hit Kato, we've knocked him off! Oh, and he's knocked us back! And we've taken out Nakano as well. Yeah, I think we might want to redo that. So last time we did a historic challenge, I did a crash analysis, as people, well, as it got called in the comments, so we'll do another one. I've just clipped the back of Kato here and caused a massive accident. And then Kato's also, his bike has just absolutely obliterated Nakano as well, and somehow I've stayed on. So I'll try not to cause a massive accident at the fastest corner on the game again. I think it's the fastest corner anyway. Lights and away we go. We've actually had a really good start again. Can we try and get past them without hitting them this time? We just had a bit of contact with him, but the lean angle he had obviously caused a massive crash. Ukawa, goes across the front of us a little bit there as we brake for now turn 3, isn't it? The front end feels like it's going to tuck at any moment. I think there's a bit more feedback now from the front. Massive wheelie out of there. I'm trying to get the front wheel back down. That's the problem with the 800s. They are really difficult to manage because they've got no sort of assists in terms of the electronics except traction control. Whereas the 990s actually have all of them. And the 1000s, I think they have a couple of them. Oh, who's out at the inside? I think that's Pedrosa. So one of the Pedrosas has gone past me now. I've got a bit of damage as well. So it's not very helpful. Going around the outside of the garage there. Oh yes, no engine braking. That's... Oh, yeah. I think I am going to regret picking the 800 here, but... Oh well, we'll try and make the best of it. I think once we get used to it after a couple of laps, I should be alright. But it's difficult to navigate this first lap, so as we approach the very fast start of the lap, we try and curve our way through. So we're up the inside of Kato here, we're going straight for Ukawa's inside. Kato's still on our inside. Kato's tapped our rear, which has not helped us out much. So up to second now behind Toru Ukawa. Now his AI tends to slip through the pack a little bit, so that's actually probably a slight advantage, although to be honest I think he only slipped through the pack the first time. I think he's crashed in the other two that we've done at Malaysia and Valencia. I think he crashed in one of the attempts at Malaysia actually, but I don't think he crashed in the one that we completed the challenge in. Wrong gear out of museum, but I didn't want to wheelie too much. We've got a bit of a lead over Kato actually. So Ukawa's actually He's got about half a second almost to us into garage there. A little bit wide from me there. He's still plenty in sight. I've just realised I can't change the power mode either. That's actually a bit weird, isn't it? Okay. Interesting. So perhaps I should have... Oh, I've gone wide. Big mistake. Barros wasn't close enough to capitalise though. Luckily the AI behind him been battling, it seems. Okawa's gone very wide to the S Blur. It's going to allow us to catch right up to a massive wheelie, massive wheelie, massive wheelie. Oh no. Just as I thought I might have been starting to get somewhere with the bike. No, I do something stupid like that. But yeah, you can't chase the fuel, which is a little weird. So I'm guessing it's stuck in power mode 1 or power mode 0 because we seem to be saving fuel a lot. As we go into town, we've already got damage. Kenny Jr.'s crashed. Hopefully his bike doesn't collect me. I almost did. Did you see that in the background? Oh, this bike will not stop wheeling. So we're up to 6th. Well, actually we started 6th, so we haven't gained anything. We couldn't get past anyone. Katos has gone for a bit of a dive on Okawa, I think. Through La Chapelle then. On the power, trying to get the power down. So obviously we've actually got a smaller engine than most of the bikes around us, or that revs higher, so it probably produces more speed anyway. But I can't change my fuel mapping, and I don't know if the AI actually have access to the fuel mapping. I think they do. Vermeulen's coming up the inside now, so another Australian coming up the inside of us. Oh, and Melandri's trying to sneak his way through. So we've got pretty bad damage at this point. I mean, it still says light, but we've had it come up about 3 times, so I'm guessing that's not good. Vermeulen, okay, we've got more light damage. And now we've got moderate damage. I've just overtook Vermeulen off the track, a bit dirty, it must be said. But Toro's still leading, so I'm not giving up on this attempt yet. That's for sure. Obviously we are going to be a bit down on power now, and the bike... Oh, Gibbernow just checked us up in the corner. We got past him, but then the bike's wheeling. So we're now up to 5th. The AI seem a little bit strange at this circuit. They don't really brake at the right points. I'm going to go around the outside of Barros here. We weren't enough... Oh, I can't. Hang on. Pedrosa's coming through now. Get the exit. Off. Well, I've just done him off track again. Seems to be the expert of going off track to overtake the AI in this episode. To be honest, it's just because I'm forcing the bike wider to stop it wheeling. Because if you have more lean on the bike, it doesn't wheelie so much. This is where we got the move on Gibbernow. Nope. I tried to get the power down to get past him, but I think we'll get him here. So 34.0 then for Fukawa, 33.8 for me, 33.7 for Simoncelli. So Simon... Actually, yes, Simoncelli's up to 7th, so I think Simoncelli's at... Okay, Nakano's just gone into the side of me, so now I've got even more damage. Thank you, Shinya. Oh, Danny Pedrosa's got down. Okay, what has happened behind me? What has just happened behind me? I think Nakano has just taken out Pedrosa. I'm not 100% sure, but Pedrosa's all of a sudden down after I've had contact with Nakano. So I was thinking Pedrosa's the fast one. I think there's usually a couple of ones that are faster than most of the others, but Simoncelli, who I think I did point out in the episode perhaps being the faster one from the grid. He started 20th, he's up to about 6th place, so I think he probably is that AI. Currently we're in 3rd, so it's not great. I'd rather be out front, although we already are almost a third of the way through the race. I suppose that's the benefit of having 9 laps at this circuit. It's not the longest track in the world. Yep, the AI do that a lot apparently. They just cut across your line, that's fun. I suppose that's the line they take. But they leave the outside totally open, they go defensive, and then when you go for the line, they just move back across. It's a bit annoying. It's about the last turn. So we couldn't quite get the power down there to get past him, but we're getting the slipstream. 33.7, fastest out to Kato, 33.2 to me, so that's even faster. So we go through turn 1 now, actually it's turn 2 isn't it? I wonder if Kato's going to do what Nakano did. No, he's not. Oh. Again, struggling to get the power down. I think that's what's the fun part about these historic challenges, and I think that's what was sort of fun about them in the previous game. Obviously, in the previous game it was a bit boring because the AI were on about 2%, so you could pull away. Well, I think the bottom's 20 actually, isn't it? So I think they were literally on 20%, the AI, on last year's game. So all the challenges, you have to beat them by a ridiculous amount. But I think what's fun about these is the AI are good, and the bikes are hard to ride. So it makes it so you have to really focus and really try. I mean, look, Ukawa's got away from us a little bit, but I think it's this sector of the track where they lose a lot of time. He's probably doing things like that because he went totally to the inside to go defensive when I was about half a second. I was almost a second behind him, I think, to be honest. I was at least like, you know, half a second, probably more like 3/4 of a second behind him. He's gone defensive, which has got me right on his tail, which is now actually going to allow me to set up and move on him. But before that, I wasn't really close enough. I've done a bit of a stoppie though, got to watch out. So we've still got like 20 laps of fuel left, so at least I don't have to worry about fuel. This is the first race for a long time I've not had to worry about it. We've absolutely messed up that corner, so we've probably saved Ukawa about a lap's worth of progress. The Muellen's had on a 33.0, so maybe he's the fast AI. Or perhaps they've changed it and there's not just one that's quick anymore, I don't know. Because Ukawa usually has dropped through the order a little bit by this point, so perhaps they've changed the rider performance and made Ukawa a little bit better. I'm not sure. Ukawa's just on that weird defensive line to the chicane, which has allowed me to catch up so much. I mean, they go really slow through it, but I've just took such a flowing line. He's now looking back at me. But I just took such a flowing line, and that gap he's built out over this whole lap has instantly gone in that one corner. And maybe I'll do the same thing at the last corner and give him a bit of a break again, but let's go into the penultimate turn. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that was strange. I'm going to let him back through, because that was really not how I wanted to take the lead. Oh, I've done a wheelie. That's going to allow Kato through as well, isn't it? Yes, it is. And Vermeulen's coming now. I probably shouldn't have done that. Go around the outside of Kato, I kind of have to. Got no choice. Done a stoppie. Got the bike stopped anyway. Alright, I'm actually very, very surprised I did that, but there we go. I've restored what I had before, the second position behind Ukawa. He just sort of went a bit wider than he had been going into the penultimate turn. I kind of went up the inside, and then we just kind of touched, and then he just rode off the circuit, so I felt like maybe I'd nudged him off the track a bit, and I may as well try and be fair with AI. You kind of have to be. Because they are quite slow, you have to be a little bit more lenient on them than you probably would be with a player, or, you know, than if they were better. Like if he was pulling away from me and I'd like just managed to catch him up because he's made a mistake and then I did that, I probably would have kept the position. But he does this every lap and lets me just catch right up to him, and it does seem like I'm actually slightly quicker on the rest of the track also. It's just this is the most notable point. Lorenzo and Melandri battle over 9th and 10th, but we're all over the back of him again. We're now got about a second back to Simoncelli. So Simoncelli and Vermeulen are caught up with Kato, but those are the two that have come through the pack, I believe, doing the fastest laps. I'm not sure if I actually have the fastest lap right now. It might be Vermeulen that has it. I'd like to try and get it, but I think it's probably too late in the race to try and do that now. So probably about the best exit we've had out of the last corner, 33.3, so not far off our best lap. So we're going towards turn 2, around the outside of Toru, but I couldn't pull that one off. So it's a little bit too far behind. Yes, he keeps the lead for now, but we are all over the back of him near the start of the lap, which is quite unusual. He's done a bit of a wheelie there, so he's now pushing. He has now led for half the race, so Toru Ukawa, fair play to him. Now, so we're still stuck behind Toru Ukawa. Simoncelli's now looking at the inside. Simoncelli's not going to be as polite as I'm being with Ukawa, I don't think. Oh, I've gone off the track a little bit there. It's just stopped the bike wheeling, so it's alright. We're not going to be able to make the move from this far back on Ukawa, I don't think. We'll have a look though, we're going to go for it anyway. Into turn 3. No, he's got it stopped. Oh, Simoncelli nearly hit us at the back then. This is really becoming a bit of a tough battle. The front tyre is so gone I can hardly turn the bike, and then I can't even counter steer it with the rear because the rear is more worn, the front is just hotter, which feels worse, but it actually isn't. Simoncelli's now battling with Vermeulen a little bit, which could help us out. We're actually on the penultimate lap, which I've completely not even noticed, so we're going to have to go for the move on Toru soon. Oh, the rear just slid out from underneath me there. Here we go, here we go. This is probably going to be our best shot yet. 33.2, one of our best laps of the race. Here we go, getting the slipstream on Ukawa around the outside. We go on the final lap. We've taken the lead, and I think this time we might get it stopped in front of him. Yes, we have. He's almost hit us at the back and he's run wide. Toru Okawa. Oh, and Okawa's crashed. Oh, and he took out Vermeulen. I think he took out Vermeulen as well. I don't know what happens when I get really excited about it. I go high-pitched because I've done it again. I did it in one of the other videos. But, oh, Toru Okawa's crashed again. What has happened behind us? Wow, okay. Biaggi's down as well. There's been a massive pile-up, apparently, just based on Okawa messing up a little bit. So this has definitely been interesting. Simoncelli is still within range of us, but I think we might have this one here. Braking for the penultimate turn then, for the final time, through the penultimate turn. Through the final turn, powering out, up towards the line. We're going to win here at Le Mans. We managed to actually get the win on the 800. I don't know how we did that. So as usual then, there was some weird simulated times in there. Lorenzo did recover quite well, because I'm sure he was battling with Melandri at one point, and then he's actually closed right up to us. So I'm guessing he got a bit mired. Obviously there was the crashes. Shunya Nakano's ended up 5th, even after the contact we had with him. Where did Okawa end up? Oh, so Kenny Jr. retired, because obviously Kenny Jr. almost... But he had some crash at the first corner. Pedrosa crashed at one point, didn't he? Bayliss is out, Vermeulen's out, Okawa's out. Biaggi did remount, but I'm guessing Okawa retired because of the second crash he had, rather than the... Well, yeah, it couldn't have been the first one, because he couldn't have crashed again. So we'll have a look at what happened with those guys. Very strange. So this is what happened to Kenny Jr. That was weird. A very, very self-inflicted crash. We'll watch it in a slower speed. He just sits up, just clips Biaggi, and down he goes. Bit of a pointless crash, if you ask me. So this is what happened with Shinya then. So we got in front and he gets back on the power. He rams into the side of us a bit. And through turn 1 he goes. He's totally offline. Oh, and he actually didn't have contact with Pedrosa at all. I thought Nakano had actually took Pedrosa out, but he hadn't. So we'll have a look at Pedrosa then. You can see the contact ahead with us too. Look, the inside he goes. Oh, Vermeulen collected him in the middle of the corner. Oh, poor Pedrosa. So here we go, so he's gone a bit wide. Vermeulen's got the flick back, they've crashed. And that's, well, no, not they have, Pedrosa has. Vermeulen's carried on. Not Vermeulen's fault, not Pedrosa's fault, it's one of those things. So this is the one we were looking for then, with Toru Okawa. I got in front of him. Obviously I'm carrying less speeding because I've got to get stopped. He's sat up. He's just come back on the racing line. He's been clipped by Vermeulen. So Vermeulen's been caught up in 2 of the pretty similar crashes. Vermeulen's bike's then hit him again. It's sliding in, we'll have to watch that. And he's rejoined the track slowly, but they just come straight back on in front of Biaggi. That was... Like, he was waiting for the other AI to go through, but then just cut in front of Biaggi, so... a bit weird. So with Vermeulen then, you can see he goes down. If we carry on watching his onboard, his bike flips up, flips again, and then that's just Okawa's bike just appears out of nowhere because he just respawns. That's quite amusing. So then we got our 15,000 diamonds, which brings us up to 18,300. And what's going to be on the market now then? Oh, everything's pretty cheap. So we've got Eddie Lawson, we'll buy him, 2,900. We'll get the WCM Yamaha, and we'll get the Aprilia, which still leaves us with 12,000 card hunters. So that means we've got 20 of the unlockables then now. So then, yes, we've got 11 out of the 41 riders, 9 out of the 36 teams. So we're a quarter of the way there with both of them, really. But that was very enjoyable. I hope you did enjoy that. That's probably one of the best scraps I've had with the AI for a long time. That's basically the key to getting good battles with the AI, is if you are fair with them and get a terrible start. Because realistically, if I hadn't have had that awful start, or if I'd restarted after I did, I would have probably got to the front and just pulled away because I was so much faster. But we actually got stuck in that battle. Obviously I had damage as well, so I was a lot slower than I would have been otherwise. Although I think that helped to a certain degree. It made it so the bike had less power, so it wasn't wheeling as much, and the bike already didn't stop very well anyway, so I was already having to compensate for that, so it was just a little bit more of that. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. I hope you are all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.